The border guard marched right out of my dreams and into the harsh metallic corridor outside our compartment, banging on the glass door. "Papers," he said in German, Czech, and then French. "Papier." The train had come to a halt during the night in a pine forest at the edge of West Germany. Now the sun was beginning to turn the patches of sky between the trees a sullen gray, and I watched the border guards outside shuffling between military trucks parked parallel to the train tracks. It was dark, dreary, and cold. In the sodium lights you could see swamps of mud from melting snow. Suddenly the door to our compartment slammed open, and a giant beard in a uniform filled the entire space. I was holding out my American passport, and his eye caught it right away. "Get up," he said brusquely. "Who are you hiding behind your seat?" I got up obediently, turning to look behind me. Then the guard burst into laughter, and several of the other passengers in the compartment joined him. "Welcome to Czechoslovakia," he said. I was teaching English in Paris at the time and had just launched an expatriate literary journal called Paris Voices. This was my first foray behind the Iron Curtain, and I had no real-world guidance of what to expect. My girlfriend's parents had given me the Prague address of a family friend named Olga, who had worked for them as an au pair in the early 1960s. Olga was now in her mid-30s and was married to a signatory of Charter 77, the civic movement led by Václav Havel that called for an end to communist rule. Solange, my girlfriend's mother, had given me presents for Olga and Yuri, a washable tablecloth, paper napkins, stockings, chocolate, and an inexpensive French pullover. When I arrived at their large apartment and saw the polished antiques, the telephone, the hand-blown crystal goblets, and the dark bookshelves crammed with books and records, I felt foolish. "Shh," she said when I started to ask her about Charter 77. "Not here." She pointed to the walls and then to her ears. "The walls have ears, even for silly things like chocolate and stockings," she said. A thick haze of coal smoke choked the streets. It entered your lungs like a fist that opened and closed against your will. Olga took me down to a local tavern just off the Staromiejskie Namiesty, the old town square, not far from the Charles Bridge. At 4 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, it was absolutely packed. People were eating sausages, drinking beer and slivovitz, and talking at volumes that rivaled those of a Washington, D.C. bar at happy hour. I could barely hear Olga, let alone what anyone at the next table was saying. I got it. Even if the walls had ears, all they could hear here would be gobbledygook.